Dave Rubin is, it's already sort of understood, sort of across the political spectrum, that Rubin is not that bright. And he somehow keeps getting worse and worse. It's astonishing. Well, here he is. I don't know if this is Newsmax or One American News Network or whatever, but he went on one of these far-right networks. And he talked about how he believes in Trump and Trumpism, and this is like the worst summation of all time trying to describe what Trumpism is.
Yeah, well, by the way, that's why what Newsom said there was so scary. He's like, we got rid of Trump, but we didn't get rid of Trumpism. I mean, Trumpism is basically a set of ideas sort of based around America first, that we should care about America first. I fully believe in that. It doesn't mean I believe in every single thing that Trump did or that I think he's the perfect man. But when Newsom says we have to get rid of Trumpism, when you try to get rid of ideas, you end up getting rid of a lot of people. And I know an awful lot of people, because I met them over the last couple of weeks, who are good, decent Americans who were showing up to Larry Elder rallies, right, where thousands of people were. And there were no thousands of people at Gavin Newsom rallies, a lot of media people there. Exactly. And it's like, are you going to get rid of all of those people? What exactly do you mean by that?
Oh, Dave. There was a time when Dave Rubin was a Sam Harris stan, because Sam Harris would always talk about the problem with Islam and, by extension, Muslims and their beliefs and how illiberal it is and how that's a big problem. And their main argument in that debate was there's a difference between ideas and people. So when we say we're trying to get rid of Islam, we're saying we're trying to get rid of it as a set of ideas. And that is not us saying we want to get rid of people. And he just made the polar opposite argument there. That when Newsom says we got to get rid of Trumpism, Rubin says, you're saying you want to get rid of the people? To get rid of ideas, you got to get rid of the people. So which is it? I mean, is that an admission from Dave Rubin? Like, yeah, when I was talking about getting rid of Islam as a concept, I actually meant let's get rid of Muslims. Is that an admission? Or is he just a total hypocrite and contradicting himself and he doesn't know how to think or talk? I'll leave it up to you to determine it, but that is a complete contradiction. His whole political awakening and shift to the right started with, let me first be an enlightened centrist and be a Sam Harris type and be a Sam Harris stan. And that the main argument was, we're against Islam, we're not against Muslims. We're against the ideas, we're not against the people. And here he's saying, when Gavin Newsom says, we got rid of Trump, but we need to get rid of Trumpism, he says, to get rid of the ideas, you got to get rid of the people. So how could you? Okay. I mean, just, like, and also, are you sort of insinuating and implying that, like, what, Gavin Newsom wants to shove right-wingers into camps? Is that the idea? Or kick them out of California? I don't know what he's insinuating, but either way, it's dumb. There is no intelligent point that was made there at all. But the best part, of course, is he says, Trumpism is a set of ideas and it's basically about America first. Imagine, after Donald Trump's first term in office, he's had power for 4 years. You follow the news for a living. Day in and day out, you had to see the headlines, you had to read the articles, you had to see what was happening. And your summation of Trumpism after 4 years was, it's basically about America first. You're either the most ignorant person that there is, or you're just lying. Because no credible person, honestly evaluating what happened, can say Trumpism is America first. How much money did Donald Trump approve to go to Saudi Arabia for a weapons deal as they're committing a genocide in Yemen? How many billions and billions of dollars? How much money did Trump hand over to Israel? How much money in weaponry did he give to Israel? How is that America first? We give Israel billions of dollars when we don't even have health care for all of our people? By the way, what would America first really look? Bernie Sanders would have been the actual America first candidate. Why? He wanted to get Americans health care. He wanted to get Americans free college. He wanted to get Americans kindergarten. He wanted to raise wages for American workers. He wanted to stop the outsourcing. That's a real America first agenda, and that's something I'm on board with. Dave Rubin says Donald Trump was doing America first. He continued our wars, Dave. Is that America first? To continue the neocon imperialist wars? Is that what that is? He increased our drone strikes 432%, Dave. Is that America first? Is it America first to do George W. Bush's tax plan and put it on steroids? and have 83% of the benefits go to the top 1%. That seems like it's billionaire first. It seems like when he cut corporate taxes, that was corporations first. That ain't America first. It seemed like when there was net outsourcing of jobs under Trump's administration, just like there was under Obama's administration, that's not America first. That's America last. That's like Bangladesh first and Mexico first. Even the carrier factory that he made a big show, oh yeah, we're going to save these jobs. A year later, they outsourced the jobs. And Trump hosed the taxpayers and gave subsidies to carrier, and then they outsourced the jobs anyway. So you got screwed in two ways. Taxpayers got hosed and the jobs got outsourced. Is that America first, Dave? What aspect of Donald Trump was seriously America first? If he continued the wars, if he screwed the middle class and cut taxes for the wealthy, if he was just as corrupt, if not more corrupt than the previous administration, he very famously gutted the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which returned billions of dollars to defrauded Americans when big financial institutions screwed them over. What part of this is America first? What part of it? I'll wait. Remember when he took $1 million from predatory payday lenders for his inauguration, and then he turned around and dropped the lawsuit into them and deregulated them? Remember that? What part of that's America first? There's not a single part of Trumpism that is conceivably America first. You know what Trumpism is? George W. Bushism. You know what Trumpism is? Standard movement conservatism. That's what it is. But he says, it's basically America first. I love the hedge. I'm not saying I agree with every little thing he did. Okay, so name anything that he did that is actually America first. I'll wait. I'll wait. You're not going to come up with it, buddy. In fact, it was Biden who signed executive orders to buy American. Now, there were loopholes. It was bullshit. It was nonsense. But he did more on that front than Trump did. Trump just did a symbolic Buy America week. It was all symbolism. So what did he do? What was America first? He's so bad at this. He's just so bad. It's just offensive how bad he is at this job. At least when I watch a Ben Shapiro video, I'll have to look up like one or two things. Like I think that's bullshit, but I don't know exactly how that's bullshit. Let me look it up. When Dave Rubin talks, softball down the center of the plate, home run every time, because he's so lazy. He's such a bad propagandist. Up your game, son. Up your game, son. This isn't even difficult. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.